Just in case you are completely new to Escape from Tarkov, building the workbench in your hideout allows you to access the presets tab, which makes it just about 10 times easier to build guns in general, and also allows you to save presets. At the time of recording, you need to find 2 screw nuts and 2 bolts in raid, since we obviously do not have access to flea market yet, and you can buy the Letterman multi-tool from Mechanical Level 1. But even if you don't own the workbench yet, don't worry, I will show you how to build these guns without one. As you all know, every single raid is different. That being said, I still try to have some sort of an idea what I'm going to do once I enter the raid. If I'm avoiding busy areas and I expect to just fight AI scavs, then the SKS is just perfect for that job. Obviously, you never know when you will run into another player during the early wipe, as the servers are usually pretty stacked. Just know that if you plan to rush storms every single raid, the second build is probably slightly better for that. But enough of me yapping, let's build the actual gun. Here's the SKS if you just want to copy it off the preset tab, but if you don't have the workbench, obviously you cannot do that. So let's go to Jaeger Level 1. As you can see from Jaeger Level 1, you can buy the SKS for just 33,000 rubles. And we also need the Axion Kobra dovetail mount for 5,500 rubles, which allows us to attach a sight to it. For me, my go-to is the Micro H2 sight from Peacekeeper Level 1. We obviously need the Micro H2 Reflex sight for $186, and we also need a mount for it, and here is the Micro H2 standard mount for 22 USD. Everything is listed in the description as well. Alternatively, if you want something long range, you can go to Prapor Level 1 and you can buy the PSO1, and it costs you just 19,000 rubles. You don't need the Axion Kobra for that. You can just attach it onto the SKS if you want that. I personally don't really like it. It's kind of clunky, but we're not done just yet. We're gonna go to Peacekeeper Level 1 once more, and we're gonna buy ourselves the 20 round mag. This is absolute necessity. You need at least 2 mags because you can reload them. If you're in a tough situation, you need a quick reload, you need 2 mags. Alternatively, you can go with just 1 mag and you can just put the bullets into your pockets or rig and you can just reload it off the top. But having the 20 rounder as an extra, you can reload the whole mag. It's a lot faster. So if you're in a sticky situation, it's definitely the way to go. And to build it, it's very simple. Let's just remove the internal magazine. Add the 20 rounder, add the H2 onto the standard mount, onto the Kobra and onto the SKS, and that's the build done. Very, very simple, and the whole cost is around 78,000 rubles ish. Obviously it's a little less with the PSO1 because the PSO1 just costs 19,000 rubles. I just wanted to quickly show how reloading the mag with the SKS works. So as you can see, my mag is in the backpack, so I can't reload the whole mag. It has to be in my rig, so I have bullets inside of my pockets. If I shoot a couple times, and since I don't have a mag in my pockets or in my rig, it's gonna reload off the top. As you can see, this is kind of slow. So alternatively, you can have the extra mag inside of the rig, and if I shoot a couple times now, it reloads the whole mag. Now the reload animation is not the fastest, obviously, but still, it's a lot faster than reloading the internal mag one by one. Obviously, I have to show you what bullets to use as well. For me personally, Prapor Level 1, the FMJ rounds for 91 rubles per bullet. You can buy 400 per reset, so that's more than enough for the SKS. You can find the 7.62 by 39 PS rounds as well quite frequently around the map. Just you have to keep your eyes open to spot the ammunition boxes for the PS rounds. But from Level 1 traders, the FMJ, in my opinion, is the best option. Now, if you plan to visit the more highly populated areas such as dorms and getting the pocket watch, or going to factory to place the delivery from the past for Prapor, then the AKS-74U is, in my opinion, the best choice from Level 1 traders, as you can full auto everything. And with the upcoming recoil changes, I believe this is going to be an absolute laser. Obviously, we do not know what the recoil is going to be like once it's in the game, but from what I've seen from the BSG teasers, it seems to be quite beneficial for the lower tier builds. And as you can see from the footage here, the build is already very manageable with the old recoil, so let's hope for the best. Here is what the AKS build looks like on the preset tab, but don't worry, we're gonna go to traders and build it ourselves manually. First thing you gotta do, obviously, is go to Prapor Level 1. And as you can see, the AKS-74U costs you 24,600 rubles. Just buy that. And then we're going to move on to Mechanic Level 1. And we're going to buy the Goliaf handguard. Fortunately for us, the rest of it can all be bought from Skier Level 1. And the first thing we're going to get is the RK6 Tactical Foregrip. We're going to buy the WF501B flashlight as well for 31 euros. And to mount the flashlight onto the gun itself, you need the 25mm ring mount for 3,200 rubles as well. And for me, this build is now complete. Alternatively, you can buy the MRS Reflex sight on it as well, but I will show you why I personally don't do it just in a second. And to build it, very easy. Just attach all the stuff to the Goliaf handguard and make sure you remove the handguard and not the actual gas tube itself, because if you remove the gas tube, you can't attach the handguard onto it. So if you're wondering why you can't attach the handguard onto the gun, it's because you removed the gas tube by accident. And this is it. This is literally the whole build. And I am going to buy the MRS Reflex sight as well to show you why I personally don't really care for it that much. But first, I'll show you without the sight. Here's full auto without me dragging down at all. It's a little jumpy, but it is a level 1 trader build, so it's kind of expected. Now, if you add the MRS onto it like this, it's going to go onto the front, and it's kind of hard to aim with this, as you can see right here. It's still manageable, but I feel like it's not as pleasant as the iron sight. If you do insist on using the MRS sight or whatever sight you prefer, you can alternatively buy the B18 mount for the AKS as well from Mechanic level 1. If I can find it right here for 4,400 rubles. Just throw your preferred sight on it and then just throw that on the gun. And here's what that looks like. It's definitely a little better, and I'm sure it'll help you a lot if you want to tap longer range, of course. But for me personally, I think I'm just going to stick to the iron sight. I might attach other sights on it later if I find something interesting in the raids, but from what you can get from level 1 traders, I think I just prefer the iron sight. And the total cost of the build is just around 46,000 rubles without the MRS and the B18. With the MRS, it's more around 67-ish thousand, I believe, with the B18 mount and the MRS sight. When it comes to ammo, once you complete the delivery from past from Prapor level 1, you can buy the 545 PS rounds. If I can find it right here, for 109 rubles per bullet. But like I said, you have to complete delivery from past. So from the level 1 traders, like right off the gate, you can buy the HP bullets, 545 by 39 HP, which is this one here, for 72 rubles per bullet. And it doesn't have a trader limit as well, so you can buy however many you want, but it doesn't really penetrate any armor. I specifically went with the highest damage round, so if you're gonna use this, just go for legs or limbs or whatever. In general, 545 by 39 is extremely easy to find around the maps. For example, the attachment cabin in woods. So just keep in mind that you don't really have to worry about the ammo when it comes to the AKS. Just go loot some of the spots where the ammo is found and stockpile it. But I wouldn't go with the very late wipe like Igolnik and BS rounds, because they are just lower damage and high penetration. Sometimes you're better off with the higher damage and lower penetration in the early game, because people don't have tier 5 armors, so you really don't have to go with the high penetration rounds. At least that's how I look at it. And I'm quickly gonna go over a couple of honorable mentions that I might use during the early wipe. So from Prapor level 1, you get the PPSH41. You can't really mod this gun, so it doesn't make sense for me to list it as a build. But what you can do is you can attach the 75 rounder drum mag to it from Prapor level 1 as well. As you can see, you can buy 4 per reset, so you should probably have enough of these, but you can also attach the 35 rounders to it, so you can just start off with the 71 rounder and then have extra 35 rounders with you. Ammunition for the PPSH, I would go with the LRN or LRN PC from Jaeger level 1. If I can find them over here. Here it is, LRN and LRN PC. Both are relatively cheap. Obviously, the PC one is a little more expensive. But according to the wiki, it is because obviously the LRN PC is slightly more accurate and has more recoil reduction. But generally, they are around the same damage and penetration. The penetration is pretty much non-existent, so you're going to have to leg meta with this one. And the other build, or the other gun from Prapor level 1, is the PP19. You can also use the Ketters for 9x18, but I don't really mess around with Ketters. Not the biggest fan of those. But I'm getting off track here. So the PP19 is 9x19. You can buy the ammo from Prapor level 1 or Jaeger level 1 for that matter, which is the PSO rounds right here. Once again, it doesn't really penetrate much, but I'm sure if you mag dump someone with a P.A.K.A, you'll probably end up killing them into thorax or whatever. But Once again, another leg meta gun, especially if you are a little late to the wipe, so keep that in mind. But one cool thing you can do with the PP19 is that you can buy the Axion Kobra EKP reflex sight. Let me show you really quickly. You can just attach it like this. That's it. That's all you got to do. But you can also attach it to the SKS that we built beforehand. So if you remove the Kobra stuff and make sure you keep the dovetail mount on it, you can just add this onto the SKS, and that also works. I personally do not really like the way it looks. I'm not a huge fan. I prefer this on my SKS, and I think I would rather play the PP19 with an iron sight as well, but personal preference as usual, my friends. Next up, from mechanic level 1, we have the UMP barter from level 1, as you can see right here. For 1 DVD, 1 hard drive, and 2 caps. Now, I know barters are kind of annoying in the early wipe because you don't have flea markets, but if you go into interchange and loot one of the offices with the PCs, I'd say 90% of the time you're going to come out with at least 1 DVD, 1 hard drive, and 2 caps. So this barter is very, very easy to obtain, and you don't have to add anything to it. I personally wouldn't. Maybe except like a flashlight or something. As you can see, you can just attach it on the side here. And when it comes to ammo, from Peacekeeper level 1, right here you can buy the 45 ACP match FMJ for $1, which it's actually kind of a little less than $1. As you can see, if I would buy 200 of those, it's 196 USD, so it's actually less than $1 per bullet, and highly recommended. And also, I forgot to mention, I almost missed it, the FMJ M882 for the PP19 from Peacekeeper level 1 as well, and this is the highest penetration round available from level 1 traders for the 9x19mm caliber. That's it. That's all the builds I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would change, or if there's something I completely missed. Also, please let me know. Thanks for watching, my friends. I hope you have an awesome wipe, and I'll see you around, my friends. Take care.